The start of the new millennium saw a major new development taking place on the banks of the River Mersey at Mariners Park in Wallasey. Mariners Park is a complex of homes and care facilities that was built in the 19th century specifically for retired seafarers and their families. In advance of the Care Standards Act, Numast welfare funds began the building of a brand new care facility to meet and indeed surpass the demands of the new legislation, so that the new home will be serving the needs of seafarers for many years to come.
Well, the latest legislation comes into effect over the next few years, and we built this home to far exceed those standards, and we hope the standards beyond them, which will come inevitably. So we've got rooms which are far bigger for each individual resident that is provided for in the legislation, and all sorts of other facilities which the legislation doesn't even cover, but lounges and river views and all the rest of it, which will make the whole home very attractive and excellent for long-term care.
In addition to the new care facility, there will also be a new entrance into the park and 14 new flats to further enhance the level of services and facilities available at Mariners Park. This video will chart the progress of those developments as the camera crew pay regular visits to the site over the course of the year. Mariners Park was opened in 1882 by the Mercantile Marine Service Association. The MMSA was founded to improve the status and general conditions of seafarers and represent the professional interests of shipmasters and officers. The aim was to provide a home and maintenance for single, aged, incapacitated mariners, cottage homes for aged mariners and their wives, and pensions or relief for aged mariners, their widows and children.
We're all ex-seafarers' wives, so we all know what we're talking about. We don't have to explain ourselves.
I've always wanted to live by the sea.
And having the river down there sort of makes it, completes the picture, as it were, you know.
I didn't think I'd ever get this close.
I feel as if living here, I haven't left the sea, because I've still got it right around me, which is a seaman's dream, I think. I've had beautiful homes in my time, but I've never had this feeling of contentment like I do here.
Numast is the trade union and professional organisation for some 19,000 shipmasters, officers, cadets and other professional staff in the maritime industries. Numast Welfare Funds cares for around 180 residents at Mariners Park. Mariners Park Estate was built around a large home facility for dependent seafarers and many bungalows and cottage homes for those able to live alone.
You haven't got the problems of owning your own house. To the maintenance of it, all you have to do is pick up the phone, and the office staff are so good.
For those people who are in the residential rooms, they have supervision and care under the supervision of trained staff as well.
I like it here because they're all very nice people and the nurses are gorgeous.
I think the nice thing about living in a care home for the residents as well is that often you see somebody who's struggled at home to be independent and they move into an environment like this and they gain a little bit of independence again because they haven't got the pressure of having to get up themselves and make their own breakfast and make their own bed. So they also, it's almost like having a new lease of life.
Well, my daughter went round to all the nursing homes to find out what they were like and what the charges were and everything, you know. And she came back and told me about this and she said, "Mummy, that's the place for you, it's wonderful."
You get a selection each day, like we go around with the menu and they might want fish or sandwiches or that, so that's the difference between this home and other homes where they get a good choice here.
The food is absolutely wonderful.
They've lived in the park for many years, they've got to know who we are from attending sort of social functions, so it's not as much of a shock when the time comes when they can no longer be independent.
I have a sister who has gone round to a number of homes and she reckons that this is far the best.
None of that area was here. So we've only been able to find all these points. Elevation at flats, no matter which elevation you look at.
The plans for the future developments were based on the findings of a national survey of officers over the age of 50. Most of those who responded hoped that nautical charities would continue to provide the range of facilities of the type that can be found in Mariners Park. Seafarers want to turn to nautical charities for support as they get older and want to live alongside others who have retired from the sea. Numast Welfare Funds is committed to keeping pace with the call on these services. Development plans were drawn up to ensure that services are up to date. The nursing and residential services at John Davis Memorial Home will be replaced with the new build care home. The ongoing demand for single-person accommodation will also be eased by the building of the new flats. These developments are intended both to add to the number of properties available and extend the range of accommodation at Mariners Park.
All of the rooms have ensuite facilities. Some of them will be showers, some will be bathrooms, depending on the needs of the residents. And for those with quite high levels of care need, we have bathrooms with hoists to help people in and out of bath. So we provide for every level of care.
The new entrance into the park will improve access into and around Mariners Park for residents and visitors alike. As the story of the developments unfolds, we are midway through the building work.
The main challenges on this one is a deep basement where we've had to excavate 4.5 metres below ground level through the old existing cellars of Cliff House, which was the previous building here.
Let's leave the contractors for a little while to carry on with their work whilst we take a look at the history that lies beneath this plot of land. The new care home is being built on the site of the former home Cliff House, which was opened in 1882. William Cliff provided the money to build Cliff House, which was originally known as the Liverpool Home for Aged Mariners. Cliff House was closed in 1977, and records show that over 1,100 older seafarers had lived there. The first cottage homes at Mariners Park were ready for occupation and formally opened in December 1882. Most of the cottages built then have since been demolished and replaced with new houses and bungalows, the notable exceptions being Bacon cottages of 1892 and Potter cottages of 1898, which, following modernisation, are still occupied to this day. In 1981, time was called on Cliff House, and the building was demolished, almost 100 years after it was erected. There had been little or no call for this type of accommodation for some years, and this led to the difficult decision to demolish the grand building. Having looked back on achievements and changes over the last century, it is time to look forward into the next.
It's going well. It's a large project. You know, we're looking at almost £3 million. The quality of the workmanship is I'm very happy with. As you can see, there's an awful lot of labour on site. It's not the best of days, but it is going well.
After over 18 months of mud, sweat, and perhaps a few tears, the new developments are now complete.
Then he spoke to the architect and we saw the plans, didn't we?
Yes,
and we were very pleased with the plans. It's going to be quite a pleasing place to live nearby.
We're all looking forward to going to the new home because there'll be all modern kitchens, small dining rooms, you know, like family type of thing. So we're looking forward to that.
It's an absolutely lovely looking building and it's going to be wonderful when it's finished.
The patients, I think, will have a much nicer place to live, an environment to live in.
Oh, it'll be lovely in the new home. I'll have a shower and a nice big room, and all, it should be quite nice.
The fact that we're going into this new place is marvellous.
And the residents are getting quite excited about it.
They've got a bar and everything.
They're saying, oh, I want a room with a sea view, and are looking forward to having that extra space, which they don't have here at the moment.
I'll go tomorrow if you like.
Finally, the keys are officially handed over to Numast, and the managers and senior staff are given a full guided tour of the new home. Moving took a lot of organisation and care, so the first residents to move were those who were able to live independently in the new Gibson Terrace flats. Friends and family are on hand to help.
My word. Aren't they big? Oh, I'm so thrilled for it. You've no idea. Look at the kitchen. I'm as thrilled as if it was for myself. Yeah. It's beautiful. Oh, it's cupboards. Oh my God. Space for your washing machine. The dishwasher. Dryer. All my Oh, I'm so pleased for her. I'm my cousin. And you're very lucky. Isn't this lovely? Beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, I think everything. The layout is really superior to what they were in, you know, and all the fitments are excellent, you know, good quality and everything. And it's nice. It's like a little independence now, whereas before it was more of a group situation, you know. So this is great.
Then a week or so later, the care home is furnished and ready for its new occupants. All of the residents of the John Davis Memorial Home were transferred to their new home across the park, the Numast Mariners Park Care Home.
Welcome to your new care home.
Thank you very much. Lovely. I'm
You
looking
ready?
forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Great.
With an impressive entrance, 32 ensuite rooms, lounges on each of the 4 wings, dining rooms on both floors, and extensive verandas providing outdoor seating areas, the old home now seems so far away. The residents have a lot to get used to, so we'll leave them now to settle into their new home. Soon there is a pleasant surprise in store for the residents, as the Numast Mariners Park Care Home and Gibson Terrace Flats are officially opened by the Princess Royal in September 2002.
Those people who are in here now are pretty lucky to get here, because something tells me the waiting list is growing by the minute. And your description of one of your own, do I qualify?
We are fortunate in having 6 empty rooms.
I'm planning ahead a bit here.
And I will insist that you have a pick of which one.
But they like neither of us. And it is an example of what can be done and what should be done in many ways by those who have the ability to do so. And the history of Numast and its home has given it the reputation and respect to make a development such as this. And it is patently obvious that you've done a very thorough job in designing and building this building. And I get the impression that it is appreciated. And that seems to me to be enough said. So I wish all those who are going to occupy this building much enjoyment here. But my congratulations to all those who've been involved in making it possible. It's a very important development. Thank you.
The royal visit draws this huge development to a fitting conclusion and marks the beginning of a new phase in the history of the park. 220 years on from its official opening in 1882, Mariners Park not only has an interesting past, but also an exciting future.